A very good evening, dear Toastmaster and guest. Toastmaster International is a non-profit organization initiated by the leader Rags Ismail Day with a small motive to improve communication and leadership skills among the members across the globe. Toastmaster International has 15,900 clubs, more than 345,000 members in 142 countries. Wordsmith Toastmaster Club is one among them. Toastmaster International works on four pillars of values, namely RISE. R for integrity, R for respect, I for integrity, S for service, and E for excellence. The mission of the club is to provide a supportive and positive learning experience in which members are empowered to develop communication and leadership skills, resulting in greater self-confidence and personal growth. Before starting the meeting, here are some code of conducts. Kindly check if your mobile is in switch off or silent mode. Speakers who are coming to the podium to refrain from speaking on sex, religion, and politics. When speaker is on stage, kindly refrain from walking or going out of the hall as it might distract the speaker. Members are requested to come in professional attire. It's time to start the meeting. For the benefit of guests, all Toastmaster meetings shall be started and ended by one person called presiding officer. Today's presiding officer is Toastmaster Nitya Kannan. She is a homemaker and a Toastmaster since 2012. Uh, she's a blogger too. Thank you, and over to Toastmaster Nitya.
Thank you, Satyanet Arms Toastmaster Nishant, for the warm welcome. Good evening, dear Toastmasters and wonderful guests. Last week of December, I and my family had a great holidays back in Kashmir. When we came back on Jan 3rd, 3 of my family members tested COVID positive. Strangely, I tested COVID negative. So I was feeling relieved that I will be able to look after my family and provide them with nutritious food during the recovery days. However, within 3 days, I too got COVID symptoms and I was finding it even exhausting to make a cup of tea for myself. I was wondering how am I going to cook food for all my family members because we are in isolation. At that time, one of my friends referred to me about a home caterer, a lady who's preparing nutritious meals and she's supplying around the vicinity to many people at their doorstep. I was thinking, should I try her or should I get my food from the usual restaurant chains? I decided to go for this lady. And to my pleasant surprise, every day the food used to arrive on time. It was fresh. She was giving a variety of vegetables and it was very nutritious and in home style cooking. And I was able, and it was also affordable and did not burn a hole in my pocket. So I felt that I'm very lucky that I was able to get home cooked meals delivered at the doorstep and it helped me to tide over during the COVID recovery time. Dear Toastmasters and guests, there are many women and there are many people who are at home who are doing this small scale business in the form of a startup. They provide home cooked meals. They also provide pickles, snacks, home baking. Some of them are doing tailoring services and a lot of them do even artistry work in the form of home decorations. So as a community, if we will encourage these people, we could help their business to flourish. Also, we will be able to do our little bit for our economy. On this positive and happy note, I would like to welcome you all for the 652nd meeting of our Chennai Wordsmiths Toastmasters. Before starting the meeting, I would like to welcome our very senior club member and the area director of B1, Toastmaster Arun Kumar. I would like to also welcome our guests for today. Kindly introduce yourself. I can see Toastmaster Kadir.
Hello all, I am Toastmaster Kadir. I am a member of Infosys Toastmasters Mysore. I am here with the word from Anuradha. Thank you for inviting me. Even though I work in Mysore, I am a Tamilian. I studied in Chennai. I like to see the fellow Chennaites who are in Chennai and a Toastmasters. So I would like to make new friends here and learn from you all. Thank you. Over to the presiding officer.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kadir. Nice to have you. Is there any other guest? I can see Toastmaster Gaurav or Mr. Gaurav.
I'm audible?
Yes.
Oh, hi. Hi, everyone. I'm Gaurav Agarwal from Loyola Toastmasters. And I'm here just to gain experience and look at how the Toastmasters, and specifically Arun sir is delivering a speech. So he sent it on the group, and I'm really looking forward to hearing it. Thank you.
Thank you, Toastmaster Gaurav. And Loyola Toastmasters is our buddy club, so we are glad to have you with us. Dear Toastmasters and guests, today's meeting is going to be very interesting, and it is also going to have a special, interesting session. So, without further ado, I would like to introduce our Toastmaster of the day for today's meeting. He is a very well accomplished Toastmaster. He has been the ex-president of our club, and he is also a person who has taken up the challenging position of the VP Education of our club, not once or twice, but 3 times. So please put your hands together to give a warm welcome for our Toastmaster of the day, DTM Arun Sridhar.
Thank you, Madam President. I see a gentleman named Brahmanayagam in the call. Sir, would you like to? I hope you're a guest. Would you like to introduce
Hello,
yourself?
sir. Good evening. This is Ambika. Actually, it's my father's name.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't change the username.
Okay. And I also see Chaitanya. I hope he or she a guest or? Okay, no worries. Okay, welcome all of you to meeting number 652. We are having our Moments of Truth session today, so I thought I should introduce all the guests. Otherwise, they'll give bad feedback during Moments of Truth. So I wanted to cover all our bases. So anyway, the theme for today is food and travel. I took up Toastmasters of the day, and then I didn't realize what I didn't have any great plans for theme, but I like these 2 things. As you can see, I like to eat, and I like watching blogs. Although I don't travel a lot because of COVID and because of lack of money, but I like watching all these Mark Twain's and Anthony Bourdain and Street Food, Ugly Delicious, Somebody Feed Phil, all of these travel food shows. I'm there number 1. Right? That's like my favorite genre of TV shows. And how is this related to Toastmasters? Well, it's interesting, right? And let me quickly share my screen. I hope you have seen a section of the Toastmasters magazine, which is called, a section of the Toastmasters magazine, which is called Traveling Toastmasters. How many of you have seen this Traveling Toastmasters in our magazine? Right. This is all about people, Toastmasters, who take the Toastmasters magazine, travel all around the world with the Toastmasters magazine, and they just show it. They just take pictures, and it's every Toastmasters, issue, Toastmasters magazine issue. There is one Toastmaster, traveling Toastmaster. There you go. Deepak Menon's photos also there. And they travel all over the world. And it's a very interesting challenge being a traveling Toastmaster, because I visited few clubs in other countries, and it's always a very enriching experience. And if you travel outside India or even outside Tamil Nadu, try and visit a club there, because the sense of humor, the speaking, everything is different. Right? I remember going to a Copenhagen Toastmasters club and giving a table topic which I thought was funny, right? Except that nobody laughed, because obviously humor doesn't translate very well, right? So you have to be very conscious. You have to really dumb it down, or really make sure that people listen to your speech. So that's the theme, food and travel. And I've asked a lot of questions from our speakers and our general evaluators and so on about their favorite travel spots and food experiences and so on. So let's kind of infuse Toastmasters and travel and food. And I have a few interesting stories about that coming up. Okay? So with that said, let me introduce the general evaluator for today. He is a banker, an MBA and MCA. He works for a bank called Royal Bank of Scotland, or at least it was called Royal Bank of Scotland. And take a hard guess about which is his travel spot, favorite travel spot. You guessed it right, it's Scotland. Right. So someone who works in Royal Bank of Scotland and also likes to travel to Scotland. He is a kind of a traveler, kind of an interpret traveler. He's from from some other part of India who's settled down in Chennai, which is, I guess, a great interpret traveler there also. So put your hands together to welcome Toastmaster Suresh, who is the general evaluator for today.
Thank you, DTM Arun. Thank you for Today I'm going to play the role of a general evaluator, and I will keep track of like whole meeting, and end of the meeting I will provide my all report. So to support me, I have a tag team. Tag means timer, grammar. So now I will ask timer. It is Anisha. Anisha is currently a law aspirant and preparing for examination, and she is good in music. First timer to come and do this.
Thank you, General Evaluator, for the introduction. I am the timer today, and as a timer, my role is to keep track of the time, record and report the time spent by each speaker on their speeches. The time limit for prepared speeches are 5 to 7 minutes. For table topic, it's 1 to 2 minutes, and for evaluation, it's 2 to 3 minutes in general. I'll now share the timer cards, which will be shown during the speeches as an indication of the time. So the green card will be shown when the speech is long enough according to the requirement. The yellow will be raised when the speaker could be aware of the time running up, and the red card will be raised when the time is up. The speaker will have 30 seconds after the red card shown to wrap up their speech. The speeches within the time limit will be qualified. I'll be back with my timer report at the end of the meeting. All the best for all the speakers, and back to the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, Anisha. Now I would like to invite TM Nitya. She's a counter for today, and she's a homemaker as well as she's currently playing the role of a club president and she loves traveling. She loves now. What do
Thank you, General Evaluator Toastmaster Suresh. I am the R counter for today, and my duty would be to listen carefully for crutch sounds and long pauses used as filler words, including inappropriate words. For example, I, this means, you know, and audible pauses such as so, and, etc. I shall be preparing this and compiling it in the form of a report, and I will be presenting this report when called upon by the general evaluator. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you. Thank you, TM Nitya. So now today, grammar is TM Anuradha. She is working from Lola Mandal as a risk assessment department. Hobby is watching movie, reading and dancing. What to grammarian?
Am I both audible and visible? Hello?
Yes.
Okay, thank you. Today I am the grammarian, and to make all of you understand the importance of grammar, I'd like to reveal a personal instance from my own life. When I was in 10th standard, I was made the cultural secretary of the school. So one of the duties of the cultural secretary of the school is to read out all the certificates which students have got and the various prizes they have won every day in the assembly. So on one particular day, I was supposed to read out this, that certificate of a student saying how commendably she had performed in a particular event. I switched it as how condemnably she performed in a particular event. That commendable to condemnable changes the entire meaning of the whole thing. It means good performance to bad performance. So that small pronunciation mistake, and the whole school heard it, and the girl felt very bad. Such is the importance of grammar and communication. And today My other duty is to introduce the word of the day, which is pilgrimage. Thank you all. I hope please use the word of the day as much as possible. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Anuradha. So I would request to every role player, whenever you come on the board, use pilgrimage word. So now I'm handing over this control to DTM Arun.
Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. Now, without further ado, I'd like to get on with the prepared speeches because we have a huge session of moments of truth today. So I don't want to take up a lot of time. But if we do have some time, we'll come back and talk more about the theme and so on. Today, the first speaker is one of our oldest members. In fact, she was a charter member. And then she took a kind of a leave of absence, long leave of absence. But now she's back. And how, right? She finished her first path in Pathways. Imagine coming back after all those years and coming into a new Pathways and finishing it off. And here she is, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. And to evaluate Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas's speech, may I request DTM Reena to give the speech objectives first, please.
Good evening. Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas is giving her first speech for our high performance leadership project. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply her or his leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. The purpose of the first speech is for the member to introduce his or her plan and vision. Good luck to Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Over to
project, so which is great. May I request Toastmaster Shruti to give the objectives again, please.
Hi everyone, happy evening. So today our second speaker, Toastmaster Arun Kumar, is going to deliver his Level 5 Project 1 from Innovative Planning Pathway, High Performance Leadership. The purpose of this project is for the member to apply his leadership and planning knowledge to develop a project plan, organize a guidance committee, and implement the plan with the help of a team. And today, Toastmaster Arun is going to present his first speech, for which the purpose is for the member to introduce his plan and vision to the club. All the very best to you. Timer, please note the timing allotted is 5 to 7 minutes. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Shruti. I asked Arun again for his food and travel preferences, and we have a few things in common. His favorite restaurant is the Marina in Nongambagam, and at the cost of plugging this restaurant, I have to say I completely agree with you. If you're into seafood, as I am, it's an amazing restaurant. He's also Samco, which I've not tried. Probably a good suggestion. Samco in Western Nagar for vegetarian. Okay. So those are two spots. And places, in terms of places to visit, he's into Goa, and Switzerland is also, if you listen to his speech, you would also know that Switzerland, he's talked a lot about Switzerland. So interesting thing about Switzerland is this a Glacier Express, which is a 7.5 hour ride, which carries you across 291 bridges through 91 tunnels. You can sit, relax, and enjoy the Swiss Alps. So Arun, that sounds great. And as soon as I have the money and COVID is away, that'll probably take a few years. I'll probably follow that suggestion. Now back to serious business. Arun is giving his high performance leadership project report. The Rise, Arun Kumar. Over to you.
Able to see me and see the slides?
Yes.
What matters the most is not the fall, but your ability to rise whenever you fall. Good evening, fellow Toastmasters and my dear friends. It's immense pleasure to stand before you and present my high performance leadership project. I'm Arun, Area Director of Area B1, the past president of Chennai Wordsmiths. Thanks to my mentor, DTM Reena, who told me, Arun, Area Director is so simple and like you can do it with ease. And since then, I'm just trying to explore how easy it has been. And I should say it's a challenge because there are different types of clubs that I've been associated with. And this high performance leadership project, I've been thinking a lot. I've put a lot of thoughts like what should be my high performance leadership project should be. Should it be within Toastmasters? Should it be outside Toastmasters? Should it be the NGO that I'm associated with or the corporate club, corporate industry that I'm working on? Should I be talking about it? Then I thought, what kind of project should I be doing? What is high performance leadership according to me? I thought a project should not just only be challenging, but also be rewarding to all the members who is part of it. It should not just be benefiting me, it should also benefit all the team members who are part of my project. It should create a sense of belief that if we can plan and work together, we can achieve more than whatever we have planned. I thought of having a project that creates a system that does not solve the problem of today, but it solves the problem of tomorrow as well. It creates a system that can go on forever without depending on people. And more importantly, I thought it is more important as a leader to create more leadership opportunities. And that where some of the criteria that I thought a good high performance leadership project should have. Now I thought, what should the high performance project that I should be picking up? And as you all know, being an area director, it's really challenging and you have 4 different clubs. And for me, it's all different clubs. One being the institutional club, one being the corporate club, one being the community club, and the other one being bilingual club, which has both Japanese and English speaking people. So this particular project, high performance project, is focusing on one specific club, the institutional club that I have in my area, Loyola Toastmasters Club. Why did I choose that? Because this Loyola Toastmasters Club has a lot of challenges. And I thought as leader, I should be helping them out to overcome all these challenges and make this club one of the best institutional clubs in the district. So what are the challenges that they have? Number one, low membership. So they were 14 when I started the area directorship. They dipped to 8 members, and then slowly they are coming back to the base number, currently standing at 11. They have very less educational awards filed. No level 0, no level 1, no level 2, no level 3 so far after 7 months of the start of term, which means it's very important that we focus on this particular club and make sure that people are contributing on the educational awards. And there is a big void that is being created between the final year students and the first year students. There are no first year students, and many of the final year students are going to leave this year, which means this club can essentially become a sick club and probably even be closed if in case nobody comes in. So it's very, very important that as area director, I take this challenge and make sure this club becomes great, and as well as become a distinguished club if possible, with all the resources that I can build in and the guidance committee that I build in with the high performance leadership. If I can do the best of my work, I'm sure this club can become again, rise back and become a better club. Now, what is my vision? The vision for my high performance leadership is to create a self-sustainable model in Loyola Toastmasters Club that helps an enhanced membership experience and create a supportive environment that brings out the best in each of the members associated with the club. So that's going to be the vision, and I'm going to be trying to ensure that we have a sustainable model. How am I going to do that? I focused upon the gaps that I have with respect to Loyola Toastmasters. The biggest problem that the club has that the community club does not have. Like for Chennai Wordsmiths, there are people who are associated with Chennai Wordsmiths for about 8 years, 10 years, 15 years. But for Loyola Toastmasters, every Toastmaster will be there for maximum of 3 years. After 3rd year, they would have to go back. So which means a cycle has to be really created. And I thought it is important to have really identify which period of time, what kind of programs has to be conducted in the college, so that the member cycle becomes really good and people are moving out at the 3rd year, but also have a lot of people coming in the 1st year. So what I decided to have is have a youth leadership program during the October-November time frame, where we have 20 people sponsored by the district itself. And these people are 17 years old and who would be turning 18 in another few months. So those members are taught about the Toastmasters, what kind of projects we do, and also they are given an experiential training as well. So we focused on youth leadership program. I'm gonna be completing this YLP end of January, and then I want to transition the members present in YLP into Loyola Toastmasters Club in some time, and focus on membership campaign to have at least 15 members joining into the club in the next 3 months, have 100% pathways campaign and educational goal drive with the VPE support, and also create a lot of leaders from the YLP members as soon as they come into Loyola Toastmasters, be part of subcommittee members, subcommittee, and ensure that they also learn a lot with respect to leadership and they are ready to become the XCOM members next. Now, how I'm going to do that? I have a very good team, a guidance committee comprising of DTM Reena and Area Director D5 Vignesh. DTM Reena is a Star Division Director, and Area Director D5 Vignesh is also a person who handles 5 different VIT clubs. He is a final year student himself, so I thought he would be the right person who can guide me in this particular situation. So also the working committee would be the XCOM members of Loyola Toastmasters plus some of the YLP members. And the programs that I described are being described with the milestones. Like I plan from Jan to April, and I want to finish it off by end of May and ensure that the club is in a very good position by the end of May. That's the plan basically that I have as far as my high performance leadership is considered. Now, I'm very sure this is very much possible, although today it might look very less possibility, but I'm very sure with the kind of energy and enthusiasm that the kids have, I'm sure I'm going to be working a lot with them, and I'm going to see the rise of Loyola Toastmasters Club. Now, fellow Toastmasters, difficulty calls us to rise up. And in that rise, we know what we are capable of. And I'm very sure Loyola Toastmasters is going to rise up. Over to you, Toastmaster of the day.
Thank you, Arun, and we wish you and Loyola Toastmasters and Gaurav, who's in the call, all the best. And I hope you guys really turn it around and are successful. Okay. Now, as we come to the end of the prepared speech session and move into the table topic session, the theme of we talked about travel and Toastmasters kind of linked up together. What about food and Toastmasters? When I think about food and Toastmasters linking up together, the first thing that comes to mind is all of these conferences that we have. How many of you have been to conferences before COVID came and killed all our conferences? How many of you have been to conferences where food was served? Chidambaram, Shruti, Jyoti ma'am, Suresh, Shaji, great, and Aravind. So we have these conferences and some of these residential conferences that we used to have. One I remember was in Infosys Mahindra City. Another, conferences, Toastmaster conferences. Conference is a word only given to the international, convention is a word given to the international convention. Conference is, of course, for anything below that. But the word convention is used only in the international convention. Request you to go on mute if you're not speaking, please. One of the thing that comes to mind is we used to visit these conferences, and we also always, went kind of thin. And when we came out after 3 days of eating and conferences, always some of us put on a lot of weight. So they would just make sure that we would hog three times a day. And I thought in memory of that, I wanted to show a little bit of a video. Now that we are stuck in COVID, we can only look at the video. This is a convention that I went to. This was the 2014 Toastmasters International Convention in Kuala Lumpur. And just look at the video, and we'll. Sorry, I have to share audio as well. I just realized. Sorry. Okay, maybe we should just go with the video, and we'll see if it works out. Let me try this out.
The International Convention is the most anticipated event of the Toastmasters year. Join thousands of Toastmasters from around the world at the beautiful Kuala Lumpur Convention Center in Malaysia this August. Experience the excitement and fanfare of the opening ceremonies. Be inspired by world-class international speakers.
We learn some things that aren't necessarily common sense to us, and it gives us really good ideas to go back and inspire and encourage our members to do more, to be more.
From around the globe. Witness this
networking, that's everybody coming from everywhere to be in the Toastmasters.
I hope you were able to see and listen to the audio also. So this was an excellent convention. 2014 International Convention was in Malaysia, Kuala Lumpur. For the first time it had come to Asia, and I had the privilege of visiting. And just to link it to the theme of the day, yes, it was amazing food 3 times a day. And I still remember the buffet, the white buffet that they had on the last day. There was a pig that was getting pork that was getting roasted. So that was very interesting memory. Always with these conventions and conferences, apart from the food, of course, learning and networking. And I would encourage all of you to visit these once they come back after COVID. Now, moving on to the most interesting session, possibly one of the most interesting sessions of the day, which is the table topic session. Toastmaster Chidambaran is playing the role of the table topic master. His favorite travel destination is Malaygalin Ilavarasi. Any guesses?
Yes.
Kodaikanal. And his favorite restaurant is Sarana Bhavan. Okay, interesting choice. It's been a few years since I visited. Probably now time to go back. Thanks for reminding Chidambaran. But on a serious note, these are his favorite travel and destinations. And with that, let's put our hands together and welcome the treasurer of our club, Toastmaster Chidambaran, to conduct the session.
Thank you, Toastmaster of the day, Arun. So we'll get started with the table topics. So I have a set of topics, and mostly they would be related to either food, travel, pilgrimage, or combination of all these things. So we'll invite a few of the Toastmasters to begin with, and also we'll call upon guests to participate. To begin with, I call upon Toastmaster Arvind to take the first question.
Hello. But I think I'm the favorite of all the TTMs. I think in quite a few meetings I'm the first person to get called. Okay.
So that's a good privilege. So the topic for you is traveling is the food for soul. Traveling is the food for soul.
Okay. Thank you, Table Topics Master, for that interesting topic. See, due to this pandemic, we are all get fed up of being at home. And even in routine life, during our school days, we'll go to school, come home, do our homework, sleep, go to school, come home, do our homeworks, read for the exam if it is on the next day, sleep. And the cycle goes on. Even in our college, it is pretty much the same. And in work, we'll go to home, we'll go to work, come home, sleep, go to work, come home, sleep. So life will become monotonous for most part of the year. So while you travel, it'll be like a breath of fresh air. We'll travel in whatever mode, bus, train, aeroplane. So the travel is a separate feel in itself. And going to a new place, whether known or unknown, to a native place or any place which we want to visit, be in India or abroad, it's just a breath of fresh air, and we can have fun, visit places which we had already visited or dreamt of visiting. So it's like a great refreshment to our soul, and we get fully charged up to go into that go into this monotonous life for like a period of at least few months. So in that way, traveling is a food for the soul. Thank you. Over to the table topics, master.
Thank you, Arvind. Okay. I call upon Toastmaster Ananya next.
Yeah.
Your topic is life is uncertain. Eat dessert first. Life is uncertain.
Eat?
Dessert.
Okay. Very good evening, my fellow Toastmasters. A very exciting topic it is. So it is not always in the order we should eat starters and then at the end we should go for dessert. We can start with dessert, and that's how life also works, twists and turns in life. What I would like to say is, whatever you eat it to the level you actually need it. It is not food is to stay alive. We eat food to stay alive, and we are not alive to eat food. So this is the one thing I really stand strong for. Yeah, food is exciting. It is a very best part in our life, even when we are working in routine, like in office routine. We are always excited about the lunchtime. So when it comes, we are all excited. It gives a kind of bliss to it, a bliss. So it is not about in which order you're going to eat or what amount of calories you're going to eat. If you're hungry, you go and eat. So this is the logic which have to be followed for a healthy life, for a healthy soul. And that is very important. And why it is very important? We are nothing but, our body is nothing but just the food what we eat, what we collect from this earth. So it is very important to eat right amount of food to stay healthy and stay active throughout the life. So life is to have that experience of aliveness. In order to have that, we have to eat healthy. Sometimes we can eat food that which is not so healthy, but still we like it for our excitement. We can do that. But still, the quantity and time at which we eat is really very important. So take care of it, my dear fellow Toastmaster, and stay healthy and happy and be more lively than eating more food. I think life is more important than food. Thank you. Over to you, table topic master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Ananya, for giving your inputs on the significance of good food. Okay, so we'll move on to the third one. Can I call upon Toastmaster Shaji? Shaji, you're able to hear us? You're on mute.
Yeah, Chidambaram.
Okay. Yeah, Shaji, your question is a balanced diet is a cookie in each hand.
Yeah. Thank you. Thank you, Chidambaram, for this wonderful question. I think food is certainly essential for every human being, and we can say basically it is a basically it is a basic material for survival. We can say, okay. So we need to take food at regular intervals, and right amount of food is seriously required to keep ourselves fit. So when we are choosing our food, I think we need to choose in such a way we take the right food. So particularly when we go out, we need to select a healthy food which are rich in materials, vitamins and all for proper body functioning. And also healthy food gives us healthy life and longevity. We have to avoid junk foods. And particularly when we buy food from outside, we need to ensure that the food is of good quality. That is what I understand. So sometimes I used to travel, and I understand during my travel, I understand that we come across some new foods in the local areas, which gives us new taste. And also one important factor which I seriously understand in food is whether if we are at home or outside, it brings people together. Thank you. Back to you, Chidambaram.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Saji. Okay. For the next question, I'll call upon guest Toastmaster Gaurav. Gaurav, are you able to hear me? Hey, Gaurav, are you able to hear me?
I don't think he is in the call.
Okay, okay.
Sweta volunteered, I guess.
Okay, okay. Okay, Toastmaster Shweta, the question for you is, are you able to hear me, Shweta?
Yes.
Okay. To cross the bridge when it comes or plan miles in advance? To cross the bridge when it comes or plan miles in advance? Which philosophy you prefer?
Thank you. Good evening to all Toastmasters and guests. Life is uncertain, but sometimes we need to means if we organize the things and plan accordingly, it will be more organized. So always be planned in life. Don't think that everything comes automatically. There is the planning behind every events or whatever we are going to do. There is something planned, like if we eat unhealthy food and we just think that why every times we are getting sick, then there is something, the reason behind that. So we should if we will eat in a planned way, what we are eating, what we are how we are eating these things, if we will plan, then we will be healthy. So uh, for everything we need to plan. Don't think that uncertainty and all these. Always be planned for life. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Shweta. I call upon Toastmaster Kadir.
Hi, hello.
Hey, hi, Kadir. The question for you is, if you are afraid of butter, use cream. If you are afraid of butter, use cream.
Thank you, Toastmaster, Topic Master, for giving me this creamy topic. And yes, indeed, I am afraid of butter because butter is too much of fat, cholesterol. You should be very careful using butter. At the other same time, I like cream and I would prefer cream the most. And still, cream is also full of fat, cholesterol. But one thing that makes me wonder why I'm afraid of butter is because butter is just a metaphor. In this topic, butter or cream, both are metaphors for something different. You might be focusing on only the negatives in life, all the challenges that comes in you. Those are the butter. On the other hand, cream is the opposite of butter. You can also focus on the positivity. You can also focus on new opportunities that you can try instead. Just like how if you are not interested, if you are very afraid of new things, new changes, things that will put you into, put you alone, put you to a challenge, take a step back. Yes, if that is not you want to do, please don't do it. It's nothing wrong to change the direction, to focus on something that it is easier for you, it is going to be rewarding you. On the other hand, we don't have to worry about which is the better. Butter or ice cream, you don't have to worry about no, butter is the best or ice cream is the best. It's not about what's best. It's about what is going to be helpful for you. So I don't worry about butter or cream. Sometimes I go with both of it. Sometimes I don't use both of it and go raw. It's all up to us. Thank you for this amazing topics. Forward to the topics, Master.
Thank you, Toastmaster Kadir. It was a very creative take. I call upon Toastmaster Anandita.
Yeah.
Okay, the topic for you is taking the high road is always preferable. Taking the high road is always preferable.
Yeah. So thank you, Toastmaster Chidambaram. Taking the high road is always preferable because trust me, that's where you find all the junk food that all of us really like. If you look at the the food pyramid or what I think that's what it's called. So you can see carbohydrates, proteins, and then everything which is unhealthy goes above, right? And as you can see, my background has a pizza, and that is one of my most favorite food in the entire world. And I feel if you go high, that's when you start you can achieve something. Whether take it really, you know, in life or whether it's a good pyramid or whatever that is. So I'm sorry for. So yeah, that's it. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Anandita. I call upon guest Chaitanya.
Yeah, good evening, Chidambaram.
Hey, Chaitanya. The topic for you is life is a long pilgrimage from fear to love. Life is a long pilgrimage from fear to love.
Yeah, thanks for giving this topic. So, well, the topic that is given to me is life is a long journey from pilgrimage to fear to love. Long pilgrimage from fear to love. So, first, let's talk about pilgrimage. Pilgrimage is something that out of sanctity, if you go, you worship something, and in order to see that, you travel from point A to a place either by showcase your devotion, either by walk, or you go along, take a travel path, a mode of transport to reach it. And as you travel from one point A to B, or let's say different directions, as you keep along, initially you start with fear. Of course, there would be fear unless you move out of to the road and you see the outer world. There would be a lot of illusions inside your mind, and in order to overcome that, right, you have to keep devoting yourself to break your comfort zone and move towards those places and instill confidence in yourself, so that the more you travel and the more journey you make over the longer years to come, you will be able to get to a point that you will be very satisfied. There will be inner satisfaction within you, and also along with that, there would be a chance to identify your potential, and how long can you take over, how can you manage different situations, and you will be able to understand the things that go in the process. You'll be able to meet different people, understand different cultures, and finally you'll cultivate love inside yourself. That's it. That's my take. Thank you.
Thank you, Chaitanya. Timer, can I have one more question?
Yes, we do have time for that.
Okay. Okay. So this question is for Ambika, guest Ambika. Are you able to hear me?
Okay.
Okay. Our guest Jeba, do you want to take it?
Yeah, I will try something.
Okay. The question for you is: living out of a suitcase is a bliss. Living out of a suitcase is a bliss.
Thanks, Chidambaram, for this topic. Good afternoon, everyone. Just try this topic. Okay, so living out of the suitcase, right? I think it is a little bit apt, topic what we are currently in. What I understand from the suitcase, living on the suitcase is like, we are just within the house and we are not going out. It's not only house, it's in one. We need to just explore the world. By going like tourism, just need to go out with other international area or some tourism area or kind of pilgrimage. We can just go and explore ourselves, because it is really important for our healthy living. A lot of researchers are saying that it is the people who lives longer. It's not based on the healthy food. Yeah, it is obviously, but not the top. It's not topping the list. But the major thing is our experience with the people, with the relations, and the memories we collect from the outside. So that makes more important to our life and to live longer. As per my standing, just we need to go out and we should not live in the suitcase. Okay, thank you.
Thank you, Jiva, for recounting how blissful it is to travel. So with that, we come to the end of today's table topic session. So we had members, talking about food and travel.
I noticed a couple of Toastmasters who not spoken today.
Okay.
If you have topics, we can.
Do we have time?
Bhuvanesh. Yeah, Bhuvanesh.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Like,
I can. Let me. Sorry.
In the agenda, like table topic session is scheduled to end by 4:57.
Okay.
Because of the moments of truth session, which might take like around 45 minutes. So,
okay.
We are like running out of time. Okay. Thank you.
Couple of Toastmasters. Anyway, please conclude and I'll take.
Okay, should we take one question, Arun, or?
No. I think we run out of time.
Okay. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you for the participation from all the Toastmasters and the guests and sharing your views on travel and food. So wish you all the very best in your pursuit of both these interesting aspects. So with that, I hand it over back to Toastmaster of the day, Toastmaster Arun. DTM Arun.
Thank you, Toastmaster, for picking topics that are relevant to the theme. And I think that was a good table topic session. We had a lot of participation. I think going forward, we'll focus more on make sure the members are covered and so on. So with that, given that we are completely out of time and we have a large session coming up in terms of moments of truth, I'd like to bring back the general evaluator for the general evaluation session. Toastmaster Suresh.
Thank you, DTM Arun. So now we are moving to last segment of the so first speech of Jyoti to developed by DTM, and Timrina has very fabulous more than 20 years of experience, and she has studied from the. If I start talking about her accomplishment, so probably another. I thought of like one single word I was searching for. So I would say like she is the Dr. Manmohan Singh. She involved will not participate within the Wordsmith across the Chennai. I know like she more than 20 clubs where she has contributed nicely to build. So I would like to, with the, I will not for the delay, I would like to invite Marina to the report of TM Jyoti. Over to you.
Thank you, General Evaluator. Good evening, everybody. On your toes, indeed, Toastmaster Jyoti. Two aspects which impressed me a lot in the use is in this particular HPL speech, the first speech that you've given, is that you were able to bring the theme of the day, which is food and travel, into this topic at the beginning of your speech itself. Indeed brilliant that you were able to do that. And then you moved on to ask the members, how many of you love it when people appreciate you as a leader? Now that set the foundation that you are keen in not only creating leaders like yourself, that you are the first line and you do not want people to get dependent on you, but you want to create not just second, but third and fourth lines of leaders in the forum for startup for women entrepreneurs, whose name for confidentiality sake, I'm not taking it over here. The second aspect is that you have chosen a social project as your high performance leadership project. Highly commendable initiative. And it indeed shows your passion and compassion towards social causes. And I'm extremely glad that you've taken up a social cause for your HPM. Now, coming to the recommendation portion, there are two recommendations. The initial few minutes, I could feel there were distractions and there were few interactions with the audience, which actually ate into your speech timing, which is just 5 to 7 minutes. And after that, you went on, you had stated about the vision, and that it may take a duration of 3 to 6 months. And of course, you went on to introduce your guidance committee members, of which you introduced Toastmaster Samyukta very well. However, it would have been great if you could have elaborated a little on the macro level plan. Not the micro, but the macro level plan of what would be happening in this 3 or 6 months. For example, at the end of first month, this is what I would be doing, and this would be the progress that I'm looking at. At the end of 3 months, this would happen, and at the end of 6 months, this is what would be happening. That is something crucial because it is also the purpose of this particular first speech of HPL. Having said that, overall, it was like a pilgrimage as you tread into your spiritual path with Swayam. Wishing you all success in your HPL project and this wonderful social cause. On your toes, Toastmaster Jyoti Thomas. Good luck to you. Over to you, Evaluator.
Thank you, Aditya Brina. Thank you. Report of M. Jyoti. Next speech of PM Arun going to be evaluated by PM Jyoti. She is an entrepreneur, second generation entrepreneur, and dedicated to us. So now go over this role to evaluator report of Toastmaster. Over to you, Jyoti.
Purpose, perception, plan. Dear ladies and gentlemen, these are the three things that I saw, heard, and felt throughout Toastmaster Arun's speech. What a brilliant performance is what I would say. Starting with the commendations, the first thing that was so good about your speech was the content flow. You perfectly did great justice to the speech objectives, which is first you started with the purpose, the type of project that you want to pick, creating opportunities, and you want to make a rewarding one. The vision, what was the vision? You stated it out that you want to make Loyola Toastmasters one of the best Toastmasters club. And how are you going to do that? The plan of creating a membership cycle and how you're going to execute that plan with your guidance team. The way how you took the entire content into our mind was perfectly done is what I would say. This indeed was a high bar that you set in the very beginning. The second best thing about your speech, Toastmaster Arun, was the way how you presented. The same thing had it been in just words, no, it wouldn't have literally clicked into our minds as it was today done by you. The data that you have given, precise data of how 14 members were in the beginning, it converted to 8 and now it is 11. The picture that we saw was clear in our minds. The color, the entire templates that you used was perfectly well done. Third best thing about your speech was the clarity in thoughts. For any innovative planning pathway speech, what we require or what we aim for the most is clarity. in your speech that was well done. There was great clarity, a well thought out plan in a well constructed way, how you're going to execute it. This itself shows the amount of detailed working that you have put into this project. Coming to the recommendations, I really had to squeeze my tiny brain so much to bring this one point. That one suggestion would be for you to summarize it in the very end. You could just add few points, like just get us along with the content flow once again. Maybe you could tell again about your purpose, your vision, how you're going to do by your team. All that four, if you're able to summarize, the final thing that we listen to you is a summary that will be etched in our brains that I'm sure would have had a much deeper impact. So to put it in a nutshell, the best things about your speech was the content flow, presentation skills, clarity in thought. And improve on, you might want to work on summarizing and also put out the energy in the very end, making it like a very cheerful, very energetic, you're ready to do this project. That kind of energy would have just blasted your speech entirely. All the very best to you, and I'm glad to listen to many more speeches from you. All the best to you, Toastmaster.
Thank you, TM Smriti. Evaluation report for TM Arun. Now we are moving for tag reports. So I would to our Manu to produce our timing report. TM Anusha.
Good afternoon, everyone. Again, it was wonderful listening to you all. Now I share my timer report as per my observations. So starting from prepared speeches, speaker 1 TM Jyoti Thomas ma'am took 7 minutes 27 seconds, and speaker 2 TM Arun Kumar sir took 7 minutes 17 seconds. Both are qualified. Coming to table topic session, TM Aravind took 1 minute 36 seconds. TM Ananya took 1 minute 55 seconds. TM Shaji took 1 minute 36 seconds. TM Shweta took 1 minute 25 seconds. Guest and Toastmaster Kadir took 2 minutes 9 seconds. TM Anandita took 1 minute 1 second exactly. And the guest Chaitanya took 1 minute 36 seconds. And guest Jebas took 1 minute 22 seconds. All of them are qualified. Coming to the evaluators, TM Reena ma'am took 3 minutes 1 second, and TM Surati took 3 minutes 13 seconds. All of them are qualified. That's all. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Anisha. Thank you for the nice report. Now I would like to invite TM Nitya to provide her counter report. Over to you, TM Nitya.
Thank you, General Evaluator. I would be presenting my R-counter report. So I would be sharing the screen. Okay, so the screen is visible to you. The first of all, I would like to share with you the people whom I've highlighted in green. Please give them a round of applause, because I really had to strain my ears, but I could not get a single filler words or any pause words or any repetitive words from any of them. And I'm just calling out their names: Toastmaster Nishan, Toastmaster Jyoti, Toastmaster Sweta, DTM Reena, Toastmaster Shruti. So these are the people, it was like a pilgrimage for me to listen to them, but I could not get a single word. And the other people, the other Toastmasters, I have made a list. The unlexical filler words, DTM Arun used 2. The lexical words that he used were 3. The repetitive words, Toastmaster Suresh, who was our general evaluator, used 2 lexical fillers. Toastmaster Arun, our second speaker, has used 2 lexical fillers. Table Topics Master used 1. In the TT speakers, Toastmaster Arvind has used 1 lexical filler and 1 unlexical filler. Toastmaster Ananya had used the word "but still" quite a number of times. I noted that. Toastmaster Shaji used one unlexical and one lexical filler. Guest Toastmaster Kadir used one lexical filler word. Toastmaster Anandita has used one unlexical filler words, and guest Chaitanya used 3 lexical filler words, that is and. Jeba has also used repetitive words. Apart from that, Toastmaster Anisha as a timekeeper used one lexical filler words. So apart from these, these are very minimum usages of lexical and non-lexical filler words, as you can see in the chart. So a big round of applause to everybody for keeping their conscious state of mind while using these words and in their speeches. So this is my report. Over to the general evaluator.
Thank you, TM Nipka. Thank you for your nice report. So now I would like to invite TM Anuradha to our grammar report.
Okay, so I'm both audible and visible. Yes, no? Hello? Am I both audible and visible?
Yes.
Okay, so kudos to all of you. There were no bad usages of grammar at all. So congratulations all. I think it's an excellent task. So that means that most of you would not say condemnable instead of commendable, as what I did that day on stage. Coming to the good usages of grammar, some of the good usages of grammar were hole in the pocket, foodie, on your toes, with all due respect, bouncing bachelor, earned authority, like the sun. What matters is not the fall, but your ability to rise whenever you fall. World class, monotonous, breath of fresh air, balanced diet, etc. These are some of the very good usages of grammar. And I'd like to say that the people who used the word of the day were DTM Jyoti ma'am. One of the table topic sessions involved pilgrimage, TM Chaitanya, DTM Reena, and TM Nitya. Kudos to all of you. I think you've done a wonderful task. I'd like to emphasize again, no bad usages of grammar. Fantastic, everybody. Thank you.
Thank you, TM Anuradha. So now we have completed all the tag reports. So now I'm handing control to TM Arun.
Thank you. Thank you, Toastmaster Suresh. As we come to the end, and the fact that we have another session coming up after this, we want to take a lot of time. So, theme of food and travel are closely interrelated with Toastmasters. I hope all of you travel. I hope all of you have an option of going to clubs outside art, one for sure. Or you should visit clubs in Chennai, other clubs. That's a rare experience when you speak to a strange audience who you don't know. The same speech lands differently. And to speak in front of audience in another country, even Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka was an interesting experience to a Sri Lankan audience because, interestingly, they don't get introduced to English until very late in till 5th standard, I believe, in Sri Lanka, they study Sinhalese and Tamil. And only then they get into English, unlike us, which gives us an advantage for sure. But those speeches land differently there. And I'd like to mention about Europe, and it's just a completely different sensibility. So it's a challenge to speak in front of a different audience. And I hope all of you take that opportunity that Toastmasters offers. We don't get it anywhere else. There's an opportunity that we only have in Toastmasters. So please make use of it if you get an opportunity. With that, I'd like to give it back to the presiding officer. Thank you.
Thank you, DTM Arun. Dear Toastmasters and guests, it is now time for the Moments of Truth session. I would like to invite our chair, Moments of Truth chair, Toastmaster Anandita. She is our immediate past president. She would be taking over this session and she would be conducting it. So I call upon Toastmaster Anandita.
Thank you, President Toastmaster Nitya, and good evening, everyone. And I welcome you all to the Moments of Truth session. So basically, this is a session where you would be giving feedback for the to the club to improve on certain standards that are prescribed by Toastmasters. I'll just share that. Share my screen. Just give me a second. So this is where you'll be there are 6 categories in which the club will be evaluated. You will be evaluating the club for the past 6 months and what you've experienced today. So the 6 categories that are prescribed by Toastmasters include first impressions, membership orientation, fellowship variety and communication, program planning and meeting organization, membership strength and achievement recognition. So all of this have a certain set of certain points in which you need to be rating the club out of 5. You will be assigned to a breakout room with a few other Toastmasters and guests if that's how we're going to allot it. And you would be rating the club. There'll be like 5 or 6 points under each category, and you need to give the club a maximum of 5 points and a minimum of 1 point. If you're rating the club in any one parameter 3 or below 3, you need to give the reason as to why you have rated the club, rated that point as 3, and just give an explanation of why you thought like that, right? So today, instead of having 6 breakout rooms, we decided to club all the 6 like 2 categories together. So there are 3 breakout rooms. The first room will be category 1 and 5, which is first impressions and membership strength. The second room will be categories 2 and 4, which is member orientation and program planning and meeting organization. Room 3 will be categories 3 and 6, fellowship, variety and communication and achievement recognition. And now you'll be getting a message or something, or notification thing on your Zoom screen asking you to join the specific breakout room, which you'll be getting it once a Zoom master allots the room and all. So as of now, just for reference, I just need everyone in the room to just make note of which room you would be in. So this is just a rough. And when you get the notification, I request you to just accept it and go to your specific breakout room. So yeah. Nishant, are you doing?